welcome back to Chatting with Chaz. We're so excited to have you back, especially today, one of my favorite topics and such a fun topic, and a topic you all have asked about over and over again. Tell us about your hair. How do you style your hair? What did you do to your hair? Talk about the transformation, extensions or no extensions. What's the best shampoo? Do you use conditioner? All the things here. I brought my friend and hairstylist? What do I call you, Johanna?
I'm your hairstylist. I'm your hair girl.
Hair genius. She's my hair girl. This is my friend Johanna Clark from Johanna Clark Salon, and she is amazing. A lot of you know her and follow her. She has an incredible Instagram, Johanna Clark Hair, correct?
Yes.
Follow her there and you can see all the transformations. But today we've got her for an hour and she's going to share all of her tips and tricks for great hair, for styling, from styling tips. She's actually going to style my hair so you can see how to use a wand. Is it a wand?
It's a style winder, so it's like a curling iron and a wand, but I'm going to use it more like a curling iron, if that makes sense.
She's known for her waves. So anytime I go to get my hair done, we always end with the perfect wave. She is the wave girl, and I kind of found Johanna very organically. Let me tell you about how I met my friend Johanna. So I had gone on this trip with my daughter. It was a girls' weekend, girls' trip, her senior year with all of her friends and the moms. And I had a break in the day. We were staying at this beautiful resort, and they had a great salon. And I kept hearing about this very sassy stylist. And I'm like, I'm going to go get a consultation because I'd been with the same girl for a long time, and she is sweet and she was awesome. And there's that whole thing when you change hairstylists, right?
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. It's very delicate.
I don't know why, but it is.
But it is. And I kind of felt like I wanted something different, and I'd heard about a treatment called I never can say it right.
No.
Balayage? Not balayage.
Balayage?
Balayage. And I had friends saying, you should do balayage. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. So I walked into this guy, Johanna, and he's Parisian and he's flamboyant. And I said, I would like a consultation. Do you think I need balayage?
Balayage.
Thank you. Balayage.
No, not very many people can say it properly, so you're okay.
Balayage. I keep wanting to say the shampoo, balayage, but that. And he was like, oh, I'm going to tell you a funny story. He's playing with my hair and he's doing this. Again, it's bob, it's bleached, it's white. And he's like, oh, your hair, it's a disaster. And he basically said, it's an effing disaster. So I knew I needed help, but I didn't live in Miami. I felt like he knew what to do, but I needed to find someone that was like him and what he was telling me to do, which is, you're too bleached out, you need more depth, you need more color. So I went back home and I was talking to some girlfriends and they're like, have you ever heard of Johanna Clark? She's the master. And so that's how I found you. And then I checked out her Instagram and I was like, okay. So I really just went in to see Johanna just to say, what do I do with this? I want to change my hair. I want to grow it out. I feel too bleached. I felt like, Johanna, when I came to you, if I got my hair colored in 2 weeks, you would see a big black line.
It was very solid. It was solid blonde.
Talk about what you saw and the transformation that you made with my hair.
So for me, when it comes to any new client really, or any client that is over highlighted, and there's nothing wrong with that look. Some people enjoy being really blonde, but me personally and for my clientele, I love incorporating your natural depth into your hair color because it not only does it look more natural, I feel like you look a little bit more youthful.
Yes.
You get more space in between your hair appointments, as to like as you were saying, when it was like 2 weeks after you had a highlight before, you would have like a black line. Whereas now it's like you can go at 6 weeks, your hair still looks great. And I mean, my blondes, they still want to get their hair done at 6 weeks. But you can stretch it anywhere from like 6 to 8 to 12. Some of my blondes come in every 14 weeks, which is amazing in hair world for a blonde.
That is amazing. I wanted to also, like you were mentioning, stretch my hair appointments because like you said, it was just like I was going every 3 and 4 weeks, which was crazy. And with my schedule, I'm like, something's got to give. Either I just have to go brunette, which is super hard to go from blonde to brunette, especially as blonde as I was.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I met Johanna. She sat me in the chair and she's like, one of the things I remember you said is this is not overnight. This is going to be a process. This is going to take time. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you, we've got a lot of work to do. And you talked about this root bleeding. What is it? So
we kind of just I started by just, doing highlights as usual, but adding much more depth, like as I could. I mean, as much as I could to match your natural base throughout. And a lot of the times when you take someone as blonde as you were, it can be a bit jarring for a blonde.
Yes.
And so I like to just take it step by step and just kind of, talk to you as we're going through it together, just so you know what to expect and you're not leaving like, oh my God, I'm brunette, or freaking out, or just so you have a full understanding of the process, I guess.
Yes.
And you were so great, Chaz. You were like, this is a process, I got this. And every single time you were so excited, and it was great.
I trusted you. I looked at your work. It's kind of like an interior designer, and she is a boss in so many ways. But I was like, I'm going to trust her expertise because I know nothing about hair, just like I require my clients to trust me. So I kind of gave you that blind trust, but it wasn't so much blind because I did do my research. A lot of people recommended you, and then I looked at your Instagram and I was blown away. And what I loved is the melt. I loved the melt, how you melted the root coming through. And I'm like, that's what I want. And now I can go 6 to 8 weeks in between appointments. I could really stretch it, probably even longer if I wanted to.
You could, but you like to keep it. You like to keep it fresh.
Yes.
Yes.
So she transformed my hair. It's taken how many years do you think, Johanna?
I mean, I feel like with you, it was a couple of months, a couple goes. I usually tell my clients like 2 to 3 appointments to really get to where we want to be when we're going through like a transformation or, a hair repair situation. Your hair wasn't like crazy damaged, but like I've seen a lot of stuff. So for me, it was more so just getting you used to like your new color and this whole new world of like lived in.
Yes, lived in. I think that's a really great thing is the lived in color, where it doesn't look so perfectly like colored, like just one dimensional, and it just felt relaxed and livable, and like it almost feels like when you do hair like you're at the beach.
Sun-kissed,
sun-kissed, and I like that look. I like a beachy look. So Joanna's going to do her beach waves as we talk and have a conversation. She's going to talk about kind of the tools of her trade that she uses. And then we'll also ask some of the questions that you asked when I put up a question box on Chatting with Chaz. You had a lot of questions like best shampoos, and she's going to give her expertise in that as well.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start waving, Joanna.
Awesome.
As you're waving, tell us, where does someone start when they're like, okay, I'm listening to this podcast, I'm looking at her hair. A lot of you saw my transformation. Where do I start? Where's the process of like growing my hair out? With like the first appointment with me, how did you start making that change?
Well, I think with anyone, right? So if we're trying to like bring our hair back from any kind of situation, whether it's damage or just change our color, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things at home. And I can't say this enough, but I see more damage done with a heat tool than I see in a salon anymore. And a lot of that has to do with, not using the right products to prep your hair and prime your hair before you put a heat tool to them, whether that be your Dyson Airwrap, your blow dryer, your curling iron, flat irons. I see more damage with a flat iron than with anything else, and it's like you can just tell by the way the hair is like broken up the hair shaft. So one thing's gonna be, I always say Chaz has just shampooed her hair, she's got out and conditioned, she's got out the shower. Before you go through and start brushing, always use a leave-in conditioner. We love this Pureology 21 spray. I've been basically using it my entire career. It has 21 benefits to it. It has a very approachable price point. It smells nice. It's not too heavy. So you want to go in and spray that all over the hair. I'm not going to spray it on Chaz's because her hair is nice and beautifully dry, but you spray this all over, and then you want to go in with a wet brush or a softer brush, and you want to always start when you're brushing your hair from the bottom and work your way up. Never brush like this, especially if you wear extensions, but most of you extension girlies will already know this. But the best thing to do is start from the bottom up, just kind of how I've gone through already on Chaz. Her hair is perfectly detangled and she's ready to go. Another thing that I do love to incorporate alongside a leave-in conditioner is a blow dry spray. That's going to help cut your blow dry time down and also provide a thermal protectant. This particular one protects you up to 450 degrees, and this one's by Redken. Also smells incredible. very affordable as well. I think it's around anywhere between $25 to $30 depending where you purchase it.
We're talking there, just so you know.
Spritz this all over and comb it through just like you would the leave-in conditioner. So we're assuming this has all already been done. So we're gonna go in, and I like to section the hair. And I also wanna touch on the fact that a bottle says it will protect up to 450 does not mean that you turn your iron up to 450. No one should ever put an iron that hot on their hair. You wouldn't cook chicken at 450. Do not.
You don't cook hair.
Don't cook your hair at 450.
I love that. That's a great tip.
No, seriously though, you don't even bake a cake at 450.
Like, what about those hair drying tools that, you know, people have the Revlon, the dry bar?
Right.
I've heard that those are like not a good tool, but a lot of people say, oh, they get my hair body. Talk about that.
So Revlon, I will say when that tool came out, because it was so affordable, it was getting everyone's hair so dry, but it was also breaking everyone's hair off. There was like a whole situation happening. I'll never forget. It was like I can't remember, it was a couple years ago now, but I had a couple clients come in and they all had this same breakage around the hairline. And I was like, what's happening? And every single person, I swear, Revlon, the blow dry brush. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that one, it gets way too hot, and two, my clients unfortunately were using it incorrectly. A blow dry brush is kind of there it's there as a tool to finish off the hair. Sometimes you'll go into it. Some people will go and start using a tool like that when their hair is sopping wet straight out of the shower. And that is just too much direct heat on the hair over and over and over again, and it's going to break your hair off. So what we recommend, if you cannot live without your blow dry brushes, make sure that your hair itself is like 75 to 80% dry. I mean, next to no moisture in the hair. You want to go through 1 to 2 passes. You don't want to overdo it, and that's going to help protect alongside, using your leave-in products, stuff like that. That's what I would recommend for blow dry brushes.
Okay, because I know that those were like all the rage, like you said, 2 years ago.
They're here to stay, I think.
And I think they are too. I actually have the dry bar one, and I have used it occasionally just on quick run-throughs just to kind of soften it a little bit at like day after hair. Let's talk about day after hair. So here's the big question. A lot of people I'll talk to, and maybe they have extensions. I think more so with extensions when I had them, when Jacqueline had them, wash their hair once or twice a week. I am a daily washer, and that's why extensions were hard for me because I sweat a lot with my workouts, and I always felt active. Like funky. Yeah, but I know that you can still sweat in them. How often should you wash your hair?
I mean, I think everyone should wash their hair at least once a week, but maybe 2 to 3 times max.
Overwashing.
Yeah, overwashing isn't the best. It's going to dry the hair out. You want to have some of those natural oils in there, but I also get it when, you're as active as you are and you want to feel fresh and clean. So it's like, if you can get away with it, try.
Do you like dry shampoo? Do you think that's good or bad for your hair?
So that's a pretty hot question, and I feel like because it's come out recently that some of these dry shampoos don't have the best ingredients. In the aerosol cans they'll have things like butane and propane, and it's kind of
kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, when you think about it, putting that on your head, like not only is it flammable, but it's toxic. But there's a couple different brands that have come out with dry shampoos that don't have those in there. I know Aveda has one, and I think it's made with rice powder. I haven't used that one myself. I use the bad stuff, I guess, but
What brand do you use?
I love Amika. I love the smell. Yes. Redken has a couple really, really nice, good, dry shampoos. But I will say another hot tip with dry shampoo is a lot of the time clients are using it on 2nd and 3rd day hair. When the oil is already present and already kind of building up, you're kind of just adding another layer, like caking onto it.
Residue. That's how it feels.
It's best to put dry shampoo on your clean hair. So after today, like if you go home later before bed, and your hair is fresh and clean, hit it with a little bit of dry shampoo, so it's almost kind of there as like a buffer to absorb it before it's already there, if that makes sense.
I did not know that, but I do that. Like right before bed, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to work out in the morning, so I'm just going to hit it, so that maybe it'll endure a little longer during my workout. If I know I have an early morning and I need to work out.
You intuitively knew what to do.
That?
You knew it.
I like that.
You're a professional.
I try. I've learned from the best, Johanna. So dry shampoo, okay, I like that. Once or twice a week. Extensions. Do you feel like if you have extensions, you can go a little bit longer in between washes?
Yes.
I kind of felt like you could.
You can.
Okay, so let's talk about extensions. I think that's a good segue. You met me again with the bob, the short hair. And then we worked together probably for a year before you were like, have you ever thought about extensions? And then I just kind of decided that day, like, sure, I'll try anything because I trust you. And I did love them.
They look so good.
They do look so good. And what I love about them is I feel like they do hold a curl, like my hair doesn't hold a curl. Mm-hmm. So when I get your waves, or I use my Dyson, which I love the Dyson, because I don't know how to use a curling iron. That's a whole other thing. But the Dyson just kind of does it for you.
Yes.
I loved the extensions. And I think extensions have a bad rap.
They do.
So let's talk about extensions. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so I have worn extensions in any method since I was probably 15 or 16 years old. I used to go to a wig shop in the city.
I love it. Of
course
you did.
I swear, when I was in high school, I would go, it was called Wong's Wigs, and I would buy a pack of hair for $65 back when it was that inexpensive.
Wow.
And I would buy wig clips and sew wig clips onto the weft hair and put it in my head and wear it to school.
You were born to do this.
I always wanted to do hair, but I was making clip-ins before I knew that they existed.
That's amazing.
Yes. No, so, I mean, with that being said, I'm a lifer. I have very fine hair. It grows, but I want all the hair. So I am an extension girly, and I've tried every single method myself. I've done K-tips, I-tips, tape-ins, and I've been wearing the weft method that you've worn now, for probably 7, 8 years. It is my favorite. Some people, everyone has their preferences, and they all come at different price points and maintenance schedules. But I think the biggest thing is with hair extensions is that you want to make sure that, one, you're going to someone who knows what they're doing. Application and just the way that it goes in your hair, if it's not done properly, it can cause damage. It can be very painful for you. And I mean, it's normal for extensions to feel uncomfortable for like the first evening, maybe second, but it should at no point in time be painful. So if you are experiencing pain with your hair extensions, I would reach out to your stylist. And then also, next to install is going to be at-home maintenance. They are not...
That's where I fall apart.
They are not a wash-and-go situation, unfortunately.
They are not a wash-and-go.
It is.
That's exactly
your hair
right.
extensions are going to be your new bestie. And, I mean, once you get used to them, for the most part, people can't really live without them. Some clients I have, they'll wear them all year. They take them out in the summer because, they want to be in the pool with the kids, or they've got beach trips coming up, and they don't want to, because they do come with... rules. Like, you can't just jump in the ocean like with your hair extensions. Like,
I did that. I jumped in the ocean with my hair extensions.
I'm
you're not the worst.
You're not supposed to tell me that.
I know. I'm the worst. And the pool.
The pool. Oh my God.
It's so bad. So I was not a careful extension rule follower. I don't really follow the rules. So that's probably part of the problem. I would come to you and they would just be like,
It's like, I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening. You're like, now I know.
Okay.
And like, I'm a tight ponytail girl. So I put the ponytail in and then I like tighten it. I think I was like pulling them out.
Oh.
I'm just aggressive with my hair.
My little hairstylist heart right now. Chaz.
So if you're that girl, which is this girl, probably not the best move for you. But I am the girl that would have them different parts of the year. If I had a special event, I'd put them in for a month or two, sometimes a season. And then I'd say, okay, during the summer, I just don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to wear a baseball cap at the beach and a ponytail and be fine. But you can do that.
Yes, and I do say for people like that are more active like you, but like you're always on the go, you're shooting things here and there, you're a face of a brand. So it's like, I think for someone like you, clip-ins are an awesome alternative. Once you get over the whole like learning of it, they're really easy. To me it is. I guess it's second nature now.
You've talked to me about the clip-ins,
and
so maybe we try that sometime.
Yeah, I think you should. I think they'd be great. So that way you can have like the best of both worlds. And at the end of the night, you just unclip them and put them away.
Do you do clip-ins?
Yes, I can put clip-ins. Yes, you can put clip-ins on your hair and the hair that we already have colored for you. I'll get you some clip-ins, Chaz.
Okay, we should try the clip-ins. I mean, for special occasions, possibly, because there is times when I'm like, man, I missed the length.
Or if one of the girls comes to do your hair, they can pop them in for you and teach you. It's really easy. It's easier. Don't be intimidated by clip-ins. They're so easy.
Okay, I love that. So when someone comes in for a consultation for the extensions, they come in and see you. They say, I want extensions. Is it consultation first with you, look at their hair color, then you get the hair prepared, and then they come back? Tell us about how that goes.
Okay, so how a hair extension consult's going to work is, there's going to be, first, yes, we definitely have to have a consult, because we want to determine match, length, density. Do you want it for just volume, or do you want length and volume? Just to kind of figure out what your goals are as a client, and then from there we just kind of match you up, order the hair. We custom color about 95% of all the hair that we do for our clients.
It is amazing how the extensions completely match the hair color. It's unbelievable, and I feel like no one knew I even had extensions.
No one should know.
I love that.
That's how it should be.
So as a mom, I had the extensions, and then my daughter was like, wait a second, what? So she came to you, and she got extensions, and her being away in college was amazing, because I was like, you cannot maintain them when you're in college. Joanna's in Atlanta, but she really does take care of her extensions.
She does.
And
she does a good job.
She has maintained them, and so she can come to you once a quarter, it seems. It's not high maintenance, I guess is what I'm saying.
No. I feel like we've figured out our little maintenance plan with Jacqueline for sure. But yeah, hair is like, the biggest thing is, like I said, application. Make sure you're going to the right person. There's so many wonderful people here in Atlanta that are incredible at extensions, and all over the place too, I'm sure, but just make sure you're doing your research. And then outside of that is maintenance at home. Skipping and stretching your maintenance appointments is only going to hurt you.
Yes, I feel like that is true. Joanna has a very loyal clientele. And so when you book that appointment, you're basically taking what you can get with Joanna. And so at work, they'll be like, "Why you're getting your hair done like on a Wednesday at like 11? Can't you do it on a Saturday?" I'm like, "No."
I am so many people's doctors.
Can get me in, basically.
Yes.
Because she is quite booked. But are you taking new clients, Joanna?
I am. I always say, my schedule moves around all the time. I do have a wait list, and if you're flexible, you can usually get in, which is kind of nice. I don't know when I'll actually officially close my books. It feels like a weird thing to do. I don't like that idea. But I mean, like I said, as long as you're flexible or patient, you can get in. And if not with me, you can get in with one of my other girls, and they're all so amazing.
You have an amazing team, and I will talk about that.
I'm so lucky.
I brought that to your attention because maintenance. When I go see her, I book my appointment that day. Sometimes we will book 3 and 4 ahead, because I do think there's a lot of value in the maintenance. And before, I would just put things off until it got really bad, and then it was like, why am I doing that? The other thing I love is in between. Joanna has been so amazing. She has this incredible staff, and she's like, listen, if you need a blowout or a wave, my team will come to your house. I don't know if that's for everybody.
No, it is. No, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. And her team, they all do amazing waves. They've been trained by the best. And I love the experience of your space. It feels like you go in, and you remember how the barbershops with
you
guys?
always make a friend every time you come in. Every single time.
I do. I always do, because it's the community you've created, and we're all kind of like-minded. We all kind of want the same type of hair, so it just makes sense. We're friends. But I always meet a friend, and but it's your culture, I think, you've built there. It's the ease of that place. We are, having Smart Pop and, waters, and we order Starbucks sometimes, and it's fun.
It's the best. It's just girl time.
It's girl time, and, you can bring your laptop in and work, and it's just, and we always catch up. And she's almost been my therapist as well. You know how your hairstylist is your therapist, and my daughter's, actually.
I feel like that's how it should be, though. Yes. I don't know. You go through so many stages of life with your hairstylist and us and me with my clients. And
Yes.
like I have some clients that I've had since, you know, before they met their husbands, and now they're on to like their second child and their first beautiful renovation of their house. And it's just, I don't know.
You hear all the things.
I know everything. And it's like, it's just, you know, I love keeping all your secrets and like being like your safe space. Like I think it's special.
It is. It really is special. And you're there for a bit. I mean, it takes me, it's a long appointment, 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
So, but you end up making friends and you're hanging out, and I look at it as like a break in the day. Like I look forward to those appointments.
I feel like you have to, you know, enjoy where you are if you're going to be there for a long time.
Well, you are definitely in the right space for what you're doing. You are the
Thank
queen
you,
of hair.
Thank you
So look
much.
at these waves. So now what is happening?
Okay, so I want to kind of talk about what I did. So I haven't brushed them out yet. Another tip I'm going to share is after you wave your hair, try not to touch it. Let the curls kind of cool as long as you can. I usually say, you know, go finish your makeup or go get dressed. I do makeup, hair, clothes. I don't know what your method of getting ready is. I feel like it's something women can.
It is. I do makeup, hair, clothes.
Yep. So I'll curl the hair, let the hair sit, get dressed, and by the time I've figured out my outfit 17 times later, my hair's cool. And so you want to go through with either like a wide tooth comb, something like this, or you can even use a wet brush, something that's soft. I prefer a comb. And you want to go ahead and brush from the ends. Same how you would brush your hair anyways, from the ends, and work your way up. Oh. If you brush from the top, you're going to pull that curl all the way out, and it's going to fall out sooner.
Do you ever use, what is it, texture spray?
Yes. Oh, yes. I brought it today.
Of course you did. I've been hearing there's a buzz about texture sprays.
Yes.
A lot of people using a lot of different brands that people love. But back to the comb. In the shower, I started combing through my conditioner.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, well, because you have your conditioner there, so your brush is going to just go ease through. But the best thing I can recommend is to always just start at the ends, gently, 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 always brush your hair and work your way up.
I have another conditioner question.
Yes.
When I'm conditioning, do I condition I wash my hair every day. So is it shampoo and condition every day, or shampoo 3 days, condition once? Sometimes I feel like I'm over conditioning.
So with your hair type, I would just make sure that you're focusing the conditioner on your ends. You don't want to put it up here. It's going to make you get oily quicker. It's going to weigh your hair down. But I would recommend conditioning with shampooing every time.
Okay.
Because you want to keep that moisture in your hair.
I think I just grabbed so much. Okay.
Just do a little bit less and just focus on your ends.
On the ends. Okay. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the next step is talking about texture spray, actually. This is a brand that I love right now. It's called Air.
I bought that last time I was there.
Yes, it's women-owned, which I'm all about.
Love it.
And texture spray
is another reason I love you.
Texture spray is just going to kind of work like this. You're going to like hold the hair up and separate and spray underneath. See how it automatically just gives Chaz this pretty
gives a little
tousled volume?
Tussle.
On this side. And you can do as little or as much as you like. And then I always kind of go over once with just like a little spritz of hairspray, just to kind of hold.
And I feel like when you first leave your salon, like it's tighter, but then like in an hour, it's like
it falls perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's like the hour after. It's like, wow,
I'm curly.
It's looking good. Yes. It's a little more relaxed. So she'll give you you'll see it's curlier now. Like in an hour, it falls a bit, and then I feel like your waves last like 2 and 3 days if I didn't wash them.
Oh, they're the best, I swear. I mean, salon waves, there's nothing better.
I love this.
This flyway stick, everybody needs to get this. It's by Leaf and Flower. It looks like a little mascara wand. We all have little flyway guys, right?
I have a ton.
And it just lays them down. It doesn't make your hair crunchy or greasy, and it's small enough to just fit in your bag, and it just makes your hair look that much more polished. And voila.
Oh, I love that.
So good.
And when you do the waves, I feel like it really highlights the color. Mm-hmm. When I go to you, people ask me, like, what's the process? I don't really know. I know you do highlights. Mm-hmm. But then you do, when I'm in your sink, like there's a whole bunch of potions happening.
There is.
What do you do there?
Okay, so when we do your highlights, sometimes I'll add low light, sometimes I just do highlights, depending on how your natural depth is looking. And that's just pretty much the natural hair that's like left in Chaz's hair root area. So after we've highlighted and low lighted her, we'll go through and we section at the bowl. We're gonna always tone you a little bit lighter around the hairline because we want that nice bright pop around your face.
Oh, you call it the money piece.
Yeah, a money piece or face framers. You know, there's so many names for them now.
Yes.
And we'll go through, and then as we're tapping your root, we usually do like a level or two darker than your highlights, and that's going to give you that kind of soft, lived in, kind of shadowed at your root to where it doesn't just look like a straight highlight, like fresh out the chair.
Yes, I love that.
Right?
Yes, I think that's what I love that you've done is you've created dimension. And again, it helps with the regrowth and the grow out process. I love it so much. I mean, I feel like I've never loved my hair more.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy.
Transformed.
Yes, that's the best.
And you've educated me because I literally would just wash and go. I never used product. I just bought a mousse.
Product is everything.
Do you like mousse?
Mousse? I mean, I haven't used mousse. I'm not a mousse
Since
girl.
1980. I never did either. And then I was watching this
I mean,
Dyson
I think
video.
I tried to do mousse when I was a kid just because, like, I had no hair and I was trying to just have volume in any kind of way.
Yes.
But no, I mean, the things I think everyone needs, like the two things I talked about earlier, a leave-in, a blow-dry spray. Everyone needs some, and hydration. One of my other favorite products I brought today to kind of show is this money mask. It's a collab with Chris Appleton, who's a celebrity hairstylist in Color Wow. And it is an incredible hair mask. It's not super heavy, and it's just gonna keep your hair moisturized and super soft and just ready for the day.
How often do you do a hair mask?
I'd say once a week.
Oh.
I mean, a hair mask isn't really gonna hurt.
Good to know.
Especially that one because it's so light and it just works on all hair types. Like, I really, really love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go back to extensions real quick.
Yeah.
When you took my extensions out, there's been a misconception that it damages your hair. You did mention that bad extensions not done well, can damage your hair.
Right.
You like the weft. Did you see any damage with my hair?
No.
I felt like it looks healthier than it's ever looked.
Your hair looks great, but you're so good. You don't miss an appointment. You are on top of your maintenance schedule. And anytime you've had any kind of issue, you just reach out and we're able to fix it.
Okay. Stay on top of it.
That's it. Just stay on top of it, really. And then other things that you can do at home to help with your hair extensions and keeping them healthy is, one, brushing and detangling. With the method that I wear and that Chaz will wear sometimes, the wefts, you want to make sure you're getting up in there and separating and brushing through and making sure, you're not going to pull them out by doing that. A lot of people, I've had clients in the past that were like, I was terrified to brush it. I didn't want it to fall out.
Right.
And that's not going to happen. Most methods aren't just going to fall out, especially if you're gently brushing your hair.
Right.
But detangling them is always going to be super, super important. And then at nighttime, you want to do I always do a loose, low braid. Or some people a lot of my clients actually will wear like a hair bonnet,
yes.
Or a silk pillowcase with a braid, and those things do help as well. It helps for
pillowcase for sure.
Yeah, I know that'll help.
I don't know how to braid. I've never done that. I can't speak to it. But
I could teach you a braid another day, Chaz.
You might have to teach me a braid. I have another question, Joanna, that people have asked. You are a woman of a certain age. I just turned 50, and I like long hair. I even will probably grow it longer than this.
You should.
Tell us about that. I think some women think when you hit a certain age, you go short, you do the bob. I think I did that. You have a baby, you have to be low maintenance, so you get a cute little style.
Well,
I did that too. It was not cute. It was such a mistake. But
I usually make my clients ask me a couple of times, depending on who it is, because I do have clients that change it up all the time, and I know that they're fine with change.
Right.
But then I have clients where I'm like, no, girl, you just had a baby. Like, give it a minute.
Not change.
And I think that people have this misconception that short hair is easier. Yeah, you have a quicker blow dry, but depending on...
I feel like it's harder.
It is. Well, because you have to style it.
Yes.
And you can't just throw it a cute bun or a cute pony or just run out the door. Like, you actually have to do something with it.
Yes.
And a lot of my clients that have gone shorter have come back and been like, yeah, no, this is a lot more work than my old hair. I'm like, I told you.
That too. As soon as I cut it, I was like, this is so much work. And I felt like I had a hairstyle.
Yeah.
Where now, I feel like I haven't had a style. It's just loose, bouncy, easy hair. It's not like a style.
It's just effortless, but it's perfect.
Effortless perfect.
Yes, we love effortless perfect.
I love effortless
Yes.
perfect. We love that in home. We love that in hair.
Yes.
Easy, yes. And it even looks good. Like, when I had extensions, throwing a baseball cap on with the extensions coming out. That was always a good easy look, like on day 4 hair.
Yes. Everyone loves extensions with a hat.
With a hat. Why is that?
It's just all the extra. It looks so cute. You don't have to worry about the top. It's great.
And lastly, with the extensions, because there were so many questions about extensions, who's a candidate? Is it someone with thinning hair? Is it someone who just wants long hair? Is it someone who needs fuller hair? Is it everything?
Okay, so when you say thinning, the only thing that kind of sparks in my mind is you want to make sure that you're not experiencing excessive hair loss, because that could be due to some sort of underlying medical situation. And anytime that that's happening, I'll usually tell my clients to maybe talk with their doctor and maybe get a panel or consult with their dermatologist, and just to make sure everything's okay, because it's never a good idea to put brand new hair extensions into hair that is going through something and falling out, because you want to make sure the hair is healthy, it's able to withhold the extra weight, and you don't want to run into any extra problems.
Yes. Okay, I love that. We had a bunch of questions. I don't have my phone with me, but I had some. Allie, could you pass me my phone with the questions? So I'm trying to think of all the questions. Do you want to add anything that maybe I've forgotten to ask Joanna, that you want to talk about? Home care we talked about, maintenance we've talked about. Allie, any thoughts? Questions that you might have? We're keeping it organic here. Because it's a room full of women right now, which is awesome.
But I also want to share another tip for summertime, especially with the hair extension girlies. If you are a hair extension wearer, make sure that you buy a mineral-based sunscreen so you do not destroy your beautiful blonde hair extensions. They recommend that you use mineral-based if you have any color hair extensions, but especially with the blonde ones, it will change the color to where to like a pink and orange that we wouldn't be able to get out in the salon. Unfortunately, we have tried everything. So mineral-based sunscreen at the summertime.
Are you the type of person that recommends when you go to the beach to like spray your hair with
like a leave-in?
A leave-in?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. That Pureology, the 21 spray has UVA, UVB protection in it as well.
This stuff is fire. As Pookie says, it's fire. I love this stuff. So definitely get that, and I love the blouse spray. I use those both on the daily.
Craziest client story.
Yes, what's your craziest client story? We won't share names.
Okay, I have a couple. Oh gosh. There was one. Oh god, this was an extension client. I had to call the police. Chaz, could you imagine me calling the cops?
No, it had to get bad.
It was so bad. It was right when Megan and I first opened up my loft. This is almost 4 years ago now. And I had this new client come in, and she was a redhead and she wanted extensions. And I was like, okay, great. So we had to do some custom coloring and all these things. And I kind of walked her through everything that was going to entail. And I said to her, I was like, listen, like, you need to make sure that you're purchasing this shampoo and conditioner, because this is red, which fades in normal hair coming out of your head. For any client anyone that's a redhead and gets their hair colored knows red is high maintenance. And when you have red custom colored extensions, that's an extra layer of maintenance. And I'm always trying to be upfront and very transparent with my clients, because you don't want anyone to like hair's expensive nowadays, so like we all know,
and it's super personal.
It is. And I don't, you want to minimize the sticker shock, and you want to have people at least be able to understand, build in their budgets, etc. With that being said, I recommended a couple shampoos for her, and she told me that she had already, given me her whole paycheck and that she wouldn't be purchasing them from me. And I said, oh, well, okay, well, it doesn't have to be from me, but just make sure, like, I recommend these brands. You want to, maintain the color of these. That's it. Fast forward 2 weeks, it's faded a little bit beyond her liking, and out of the kindness of my heart, I recolored them complimentary. When I knew it wasn't my fault, but I did it anyways.
Customer service.
Customer. Well, you want to make people happy. To make it right, yes. Yeah, and when she came back, I said, you really should consider the shampoos I recommended, and she got different one that wasn't the one I recommended, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, I colored her hair, and the second time she's like, well, now I just feel blah. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she just wasn't happy, and I didn't know what else to do for her. And it was during COVID too, so we had very strict rules in the loft I was in. Like, if you weren't having a service performed, like, you had to leave. Like, you weren't allowed to hang in the hallways, nothing. Anyway, so she had left, I thought, and she was in like an employee break area, hanging out for a while on the phone with her friend, carrying on, and I went out to talk to her to see if everything was okay, and she was just super, super rude. And I was like, well, listen, like, you're not permitted in the building right now. It's COVID, so you have to go. She refused to leave.
Wow.
And she followed me back into the loft. It was banging on the door.
That's scary.
Got kind of aggressive, so I had to lock it, and I had to call APD.
I mean, hair.
And as this woman is banging on my door, I had a new client consultation walk in. I was like, oh, hi. And then as the police showed up, I had 2 other girls come in for a consultation, which I'll say all these women are still my clients. So it's like, they were just like, what is happening?
Just had a crazy online one.
But it had to happen right as I had like 3 new clients walking in. There was just a lot happening, but we never saw her again. And it was a lot. It was a little stressful.
That is a lot. Okay, that's a crazy client story. I never heard that story. People are a little quick to blame their hairdresser when they're like, oh, I'm a platinum blonde, I want to be dark, and then the hairdresser's like, no, we don't think, but they still do it, and then they come back at you like, why is my hair ash? Or, well, because I told you can't go from that to that.
Right.
Do you get that often where people just freak out?
At this point, honestly, Chaz, I don't.
Well, that's good.
I used to for a long time. I mean, not a long time. I mean, it would happen more frequently, like earlier in my career, but I think now you can kind of just tell who's going to be who.
Yes.
And if it's someone that I'm like, oh,
your people find you now.
Yep. And and if it's something that I truly don't think is going to work, I'm just going to say, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I don't think it's going to work out for your hair, and I wouldn't want to waste your time and your money for you to be unhappy.
I love that. And being a little more selective and not having to take every job and being upfront, that we kind of have to do that in our business.
And I think it just saves a lot of heartache on both ends.
Yes.
You know?
And is it something that you need to tell people once you get into this? There's an expense. Extensions, especially, they're expensive. You have to get new hair every year. What do you recommend?
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
So that's a nice chunk of change there. Mm-hmm. And then it's the color, it's the cut, it's everything. Do you kind of let people know, like, this is something you're gonna have to keep up with in advance so that they're
absolutely.
prepared? I mean, they probably know common sense, but have you have to have the budget conversation with anyone?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like a lot of the time that's why consultation is so important. You can't just like walk in and then, I mean, some days we can just put hair in your head and it's great and it's a good day, but sometimes I think like I said, the consultation, you can sit and talk about, certain lengths are going to cost more than others, and what your maintenance is going to look like, how much your maintenance is going to be, and budget's important. So I mean, I think every hairstylist should be having those conversations with their clients.
So too.
And I don't think it's uncomfortable or awkward either. I think it's important.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Good question here. How to transition from the side part to the middle part?
Okay.
And is it for everyone?
You know what? Here's the thing. I think that if you love your hair in a side part, just keep your side part.
I kind of go back and forth. Is this considered a side right now?
You're pretty centered right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're center part right now.
Okay. I think I came with a pretty extreme side part. Mm-hmm. I feel like I look like Donald Trump when I look at old pictures.
Oh my gosh, you did have a side part.
It was wicked.
I forgot about it.
Over here. Like,
how did I forget?
It was like a comb over. I don't even know. It was a bad stage of life, Joanna.
No.
But I think this makes you look younger. I think you made me look younger.
I think, okay, so and if you are a side part girly, I think that they aren't bad. Like I said, I wear a side part sometimes. I mean, I'm middle today, but by the end of the day, like my part's here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, same.
But I will say, if your part's like way over here, maybe just compromise with like a less harder side part, and I feel like it looks so much better.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. So it really could be for anyone, right? The middle part.
Middle or off
center. Does it have anything to do with, or just a tad off center? Anything to do with the cowlick? Like if you have a cowlick, my friend Heather McMahon, which you told me, what's your dream client? Who's your dream client?
Oh my God, Heather, I'd love to meet Heather.
Heather, you gotta have her come. I know she has her whole people in posse,
yes,
but
I know.
if she ever just wanted to get jiggy with you, it could be fun. It could be fun.
Oh my God, I'd have the best time.
But she always talks about her cowlick. We've had conversations about it.
So unfortunately, like I can't fix the cowlick, so you just gotta like learn to work with it.
You move
just
into
lean
it.
Into it.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Best shampoo and conditioner. I know it's a preference. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess I can recommend some favorite brands that I love. Just to say a favorite shampoo and conditioner for everyone across the board. I mean, that's a tough one, right? Because we all have such different hair types. Yes. I would say the brands I love, Redken's come out with some really, really wonderful shampoo and conditioners.
I love their whole line. I like the soft one. Yes. I like the one for blondes.
And they smell nice, but they're not like overpowering with their fragrance. They've got a great color, Magnetics, which is light and it's very cleansing, but it's going to help your color. They came out with a color gloss one that smells unbelievable. Love that one. The Acidic Bond Concentrate's great. I also do love Pureology's shampoos and conditioners. And then Matrix does a lot of really nice stuff too. Matrix has one of my favorite purple shampoos. I love it because it tones the hair enough without completely drying it out, because a lot of the time purple shampoo, especially if you overuse it, can really, really dry out your hair.
How often should, or someone with my coloring, use a purple shampoo?
Depending on how many times you shampoo and wash your hair in a week, I would say if you're washing your hair twice a week, no more than once a week.
Okay.
Every other time, like, break it up.
Okay. What do you think of the Dyson and the Shark air stylers? I know we kind of touched base, but you didn't specifically talk about the Dyson.
No, so I mean, I think that they're great tools. A lot of my clients use either or, and I mean, they're wonderful for you guys to be able to achieve like the salon hairstyles that at home.
Right.
But again, when it comes to heat styling your hair, you just have to make sure that you're not over styling and using heat protectants.
Is that purple one, the quick blowout, does that have a heat protectant, or do I need to add that?
No, that has a heat protectant in it.
It does, I thought so.
Yeah.
So I use the Dyson just about every day, whether it's a refresh in the morning of day-old hair, or just when I get out of the shower. I use the hair dryer and the wand. Do you like the hair dryer?
Yeah, no, I love it. I like it. I have my preferences for behind the chair just because I like certain tools for the all day long. But the Dyson for clients at home, it's a crowd pleaser.
It's a crowd. I'm telling you, if my house is on fire, it's my children, my dog, and my Dyson. It's coming with me.
I love that.
As you age and gray and have blonde highlights, should you stay more blonde?
I would. If you enjoy being a blonde, like anything to avoid adding in like a permanent color on top of that. And you can always play with the shade and tone of the blonde that you're doing. Like if you feel like you're kind of bored or it's washing you out, you can go warmer, you could go cooler, you could go ashier. It really just depends.
There were so many good ones. Let's talk about menopause and hair. Do you see a significant change when women go through menopause in their hair? Is there anything they can do, or vitamins they could take?
So I think, and again, with any kind of hormonal change, I notice it when women have babies postpartum, and then as women age and get older, again, menopause. I always recommend, collagen. I love collagen for your hair. Oh my gosh, it has changed the hair game for me personally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the scoop that you put in your coffee.
I do a liquid one, and I take it every single day, sometimes twice.
Oh, okay.
I do love collagen.
I should add that to my
You should.
regime.
You should. It's so good, and it's good for your hair, skin, and nails.
Collagen. What brand do you like?
I do use the New Skin one.
New Skin. Okay. I love New Skin.
New Skin has some really incredible products.
That's where I get the Lumi.
Yep.
The Lumi is awesome. We should have a whole skincare
the Lumi
conversation. We will.
I could talk about how great all their stuff is all day.
Okay.
But I will say again, and then also biotin. Just if you even get just from the drugstore, I believe, and again, check with your doctor. I am not a physician whatsoever. I think you can take up to 2,500 milligrams of biotin a day, just depending on who you are.
What is biotin?
It's gonna be a supplement that you can take, and it's gonna it's like collagen, but it's biotin, and it's got it's gonna support your hair, skin, and nails again also.
Oh, okay, love that. If you've there was a question, if you've colored your hair your whole life and you just want to go natural, what's the best route to go? How do you ease into that?
That's such a tough one because
that sounds complicated.
It is, and it's really difficult to let your hair grow out because it doesn't look great. And it's such a specialized service, especially if you are pretty gray. I would recommend finding someone who specializes in that transitional color, because it's an all-day thing, and you want to make sure you're in good hands when you're doing that. That's like major correction. Do
your research when you're going to someone and you're going through, I think, a very drastic change, like going from colored hair to natural, blonde to brunette. And I also I feel like you specialize in long hair and extensions, but also, do you feel like you lean towards blondes, or
I've got a pretty good mix. So I feel like my Instagram shows like a lot of long hair and extensions.
There's a lot of brunettes on
I
your
know,
page,
and I'm
too.
trying to do better about like getting more photos of just like everyone else.
Yes, you're doing a great job.
But everyone's like, I mean, I have clients with long hair, short hair, but I would say it's a pretty good mix, 50-50, blondes and brunettes. I got a mix of both.
Okay, so she could do both.
Yeah.
And again, her team is amazing. Alex will sometimes come to my house when I'm like, oh, we're doing a big day of photo shooting, and I'm like, taking a lot of pictures. I'm like, she does the waves like no one else's business.
She's so
like
good.
You, like
no,
your whole
she's so
team.
good. Alex
and
is the
she
best.
lives in my neighborhood-ish, so I'm like, hey, Alex, on the fly.
She's always like, oh, I'm going to Chaz's. She loves
love
it.
her. We just chit-chat.
She's so sweet.
I might have to schedule her. I haven't done that in a bit. But she's fantastic. So you're in good hands. Am I forgetting anything, Allie, Lauren, that maybe viewers have asked? I feel like we talked about shampoos, hair care at home, maintenance in the salon. We've talked about extensions. What am I missing, Joanna?
No, I'm trying to think.
I feel like we covered it.
I feel like we did.
Did you think something, Allie? Let me think, because I'm going to step away. I talked about washing your hair. We talked about the mask.
When I was styling you, I didn't really talk about what I did and how I did your curl placement.
Yes, talk about that.
Okay, so we get this question all the time, especially when we're
section or
yeah, no, I mean, I think sectioning is always gonna like make for neater, longer lasting hair and an easier curl.
Yes.
But so the one thing that we always tell our clients is to from the ear forward, you're always gonna want to curl away from your face.
Great tip.
So that's what's going to give you kind of like that pretty little beachy away. And in the back, there's two different ways you can go about it. You can alternate your curls one way, the other way, one way, the other way. Today I did a bottom row going one way, the next row I did the opposite, and then the top I did the opposite again. If you continue to curl all the way away from the face in the back, you're going to get it. See how her hair doesn't like bunch up, it just kind of flows. If you curl it all away, it's not going to do that. So you want to kind of mix it up in the back.
And tell them about how you do the little straight at the bottom. I think
oh yeah,
that's like a whole thing, because sometimes my wand gets the whole thing and it looks so tight.
Right. So when you are curling your hair, and this is off, so I'm just going to demo with it being off. You're going to take the section of hair.
See how she's got that root in there showing that dark?
So
I like
good.
that.
I always tell my clients you want to curl from the base. So start at the base and like wrap your hair around, and we always leave just a little bit out the ends.
Like leave a tail.
And you leave and then you let it go. Don't hold it for too long.
Yes.
I might have just messed that curl up a little bit, but we can recurl it. That's just like a little
Anyway,
dab.
I love how she does the wave. I like that little straight end. I think it feels a little edgier than like a curly. Remember, I went to get my hair done because I was in a pinch, and
The flat iron curls.
don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to say where, who. Just don't do a flat iron curl. They took a flat iron and curled it, and it was like, gee, bet. So she was like, I think you texted me, like, what is happening?
I said, Chaz, who did your curls? Who waved
I was
you?
in a pinch. I think I called you that morning. I'm like, can I get there like at 6 a.m.? Otherwise, I won't have time. And we couldn't. And you're like, well, you were trying to figure it out. And I was like, I'm just
You've
going to
got
go.
Alex's number now, so that'll never happen again.
No, that should never happen. So I like the little edge situation.
Yes.
It creates a little edginess. Yes, I mean, we've discussed all things hair. I want you to follow my friend Joanna Clark Hair. That is your Instagram, right, Joanna?
Yes. Oh, thank you.
And she just opened a beautiful new, do you call it a salon? Are we still using the word salon?
Yeah.
A beautiful new salon. It's in Brookhaven.
Yep.
And it's in a great location, kind of near the Costco in Brookhaven. Easy to get to. It takes me about 20-25 minutes from Roswell. Worth the trip, worth all the pennies.
you.
I've never loved my hair more, and I feel like it's the healthiest it's ever been. And I've shared my weight loss journey here. I've shared my life journey, and I wanted to share my hair journey with my friend. Because when you ask me, I have no idea what she does. She's like a magician. She's like a little ninja back there. And then her team, they take me to the sink, and it's like, shoo, 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 shoo. And then they take me over here, and it's like, and then she cuts it dry. I also want to say, you don't cut my hair a lot. Mm-hmm. And normally I would go to get my hair done, it would be cut in color always. But you don't always cut it. What's the reason for that?
I just kind of look at it and see what you need. Sometimes, if it's time, it's time. I don't know.
You'll just kind of tell me, and I'm like, I was thinking it was time too.
You use really good products at home, so like your hair is like, it is super healthy to me, and I don't think that you need to get a haircut every single time you get it colored.
Okay.
And it's just, some people love to do that. They just like a fresh cut, and that's their prerogative. But I don't know, I like to kind of just do case by case basis.
Case by case.
Yeah.
How long do you think my hair should be? Like, what do you envision? What's your path for this? If I don't do extensions, which...
I mean, I kind of love where we are now. Even if we went a little bit longer, but I
like
love
right here.
That medium length on you. I think it looks trendy, and it looks beautiful.
Still bouncy.
And you can still, like, wave it, have a cute pony. It's versatile.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I do love that you could wave it and do the pony, and you will feel when you take your extensions out, your ponytail's going to feel like really small, but then in a week you're fine. So
you get used to it. It takes a minute.
extensions are very versatile. I think the takeaway I want you to have is don't be afraid to switch things up with your hair.
Yeah.
And switch things up with your style and maybe even your colorist and have the conversation. I did call the girl that was doing my hair, and I said, I just want to tell you I have loved you. There's nothing with you. It's just I want to go in a different direction with my hair, and that was a treatment that she didn't really do. The whole what do you call it? Bleeding?
Lived-in.
Lived-in hair. I always call it bleeding. You said something the first day. It was like
you had a bunch of bleeds.
Maybe
like
that's
foil
what it was.
bleeds.
Which had nothing to do with you or your salon or anything. It was just I wanted to change, and I had like the breakup conversation. I was still like I want to be friends. I want to hang out, but I think it's a delicate thing. But you have to do what's right for you and your hair. So
yes, I agree.
Anyway, before we go, I'm going to take you over to our little corner. And Joanna's going to join me. We have our drops at Linen and Flax Co. every week. And it's every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Now, our podcast airs at midnight, Tuesday midnight. So by the time you see the podcast, you're always wondering, what am I wearing? So we decided to do our big edits on Wednesday at 10 a.m. This top, this cute linen top, I love, will be part of the collection. The one I wore last week, you loved, it sold out, and you called it the podcast shirt. So this is probably going to be the podcast shirt in black. But I'm going to just walk you over here. We're doing our highlight on our edit from Home Goods and Apparel. And like this candle, are you dying over this candle? The smell?
It smells amazing.
It smells amazing. This edit is called the Beach Days edit. It's all about, beach style on apparel and beach style in your home. So I'm going to walk over really quick and share some of my favorite things. Like I said, this top is going to be, let me stay in the camera frame, sorry. This top will be part of the collection. Super cute with denim shorts. We've got a lot of denim about to hit. But every girl needs some denim shorts, right?
They're so cute.
They're so cute. This is a longer length. I think I wore these last week, and they're like the perfect length.
They're perfect.
And you can even throw a little like platform on, which is nice with these. A linen shirt, but it would be cute paired with this black top, or even the white denim with the black top. Love that.
So cute.
And then just a cute little knit beach sweater. Like how cute is that?
I love very linen and flat.
Very linen and flat. Like this is me all day right here. So I'm kind of loving that. And then a cute resort dress. Take her to the beach. Take her to dinner at the beach. Take her on date night. Just
so
cute. A little pop of color for us. I'm loving orange this season, and I love orange with a good tan.
Hello.
Oh, do you have orange?
Yes,
I
orange.
feel like it's a color right now.
It's a color right now.
That would go perfect with this dress. And this dress is super classic. Cute. I love the little belt. It's like this rope belt. Let me open it up. And it ties around the front. It has a cute smocking detail in the back of the dress. Like that's super cute at a resort,
so
family
cute.
pictures, just easy breezy. This is kind of fun. It's like an athleisure dress. It's all knit. I could see this at the beach. I love the little black detail going down. Also, it look cute with the platform. Has little side slits. Just again, easy breezy, very linen and flax. I love this dress.
Oh yes.
How cute is that? I feel like the pattern is very flattering.
Stunning.
Again, pair it with a platform because always have a heel. And then this little belt, you can pair the belt with it. So really just easy looks for you. And then last but not least, just an easy beach dress. Throw this on, take her to dinner.
Love.
Throw her on over a bathing suit or wear here in town. Love. So that's our apparel. We put the belt here. And then our home collection, we have some beautiful vases. Excellent price point with this drop, so you're going to love the price point. You're going to love that we have a lot of inventory because we've been selling out, so we brought in more. And then this candle, we're highlighting it today on the podcast. It smells amazing. It has this beautiful woven texture side and leather banding, the white leather banding.
It's so pretty.
So pretty. And then we have a couple trays down here that pair with that candle. We have some really cute vessels here that you can use in your kitchen or laundry room. We'll show you how to style that tomorrow. So tune in at linenandflax.com and also Linen and Flax Co. on Instagram. And I'll be sharing on Wednesday all the things, how to style this. Also, let me highlight our Beach Days collection. It's our best-selling laundry room situation. And it's everything from a softener to a laundry fragrance to a room spray, vacuum beads. It's all things beach, in home and in apparel. And beach waves.
Yes.
It's the whole thing. So this is our little commercial. We started doing Linen and Flax commercials because we had people reach out about sponsoring, and they were like, well, we're just going to be our own commercials.
You should.
Here we are.
Yes.
Thank you, Johanna,
Thank
for
you
coming.
Thank you for having
and
me.
I am so glad all of my friends can meet you. She is our hair guru and girl, my friend Johanna Clark Hair. Follow her on Instagram and make your appointment.
Yes. Love to see you guys.
We will talk to you next week. We'll see you back here next Wednesday at midnight.